All right, here we go. Branding yourself. So this is so important because I've talked about it a little bit as far as, it's real easy to say, I just want to help everybody. And, as much as that we want that to be true, we just can't. You can't relate to everyone. You're not going to click with everyone. Your personalities are going to mesh with some people. There could be somebody that I've been talking to for the past year, and then, they talked to Jody one time and they're like, sign me up, and that's just how it's going to go. So you have to kind of find, your perfect customer or challenger or coach, and like visualize them, and that's who you're talking to. And that also is going to help you brand yourself, because you can't just be so generic where your posts are just all over the place, and you're just like not dialing in to one, or not really one, but a category of who you're going to mesh with. And because people will, they'll just be like confused if you're all over the place. So a couple different things that we can do to help ourselves brand is, first of all, like cover photo, profile photo. That's the easy one. When people go to your page, they want to see you smiling, a good picture, and like your cover photo, like, does it say anything about your interest and your passion, or is it just, a quote, or I don't know, it's like, does it represent you? So make sure your profile picture is you. And I also read somewhere that we should change that often, but I haven't changed mine in a while. I kind of like the one I have right now. So that's up to you. But cover photo, keep that one interesting. Like, that is like your storefront, and it says, if you're into, if you're not going to shop at Walmart, you like, some people aren't really interested in going to Walmart. Make somebody interested in going to your page. So that's one easy task. And then I have 3 questions that, or really 3 tasks that you can do to help yourself, like, pick your brand, pick your clientele. So think of 3 to 5 different passions, things that you're passionate about, things that you get excited about, things that just you think about them often, and just like, what are you drawn to? And then number 2, what are some things you want others to know about you? Do you want people to know your deepest, darkest secret? Maybe you're not ready for that. But all the fun things, all the little quirky things, um, you know, and then the simple things, like being a mom, being a teacher, being a, doing some W-2 forms, being an entrepreneur, like all those little things. Like, what are some things that you want people to know about you, and write a list about that. Um, and then number 3, what are some things people ask you for advice about? And don't say nothing, because everybody, you always have something to offer. So not necessarily like just on Facebook, like in life, what do people tend to ask you about? People ask me how to deal with a spicy little child all the time, because I talk about him being a spicy little thing. And I really get questions about that. And I'm like, I don't know. Tell me. I wish I knew. I'm trying to figure it out. But those are just some things that you can ask yourself, write down, and that will help you figure out exactly like your brand and what you're posting and who you're reaching out for, because you want those people to be drawn to you. You want to mesh with your team and mesh with the people sorry, my phone's driving me crazy. Mesh with the people that are in your challenge group. So, and that just comes with getting to know them also. Also, you're not going to have a 60-year-old man scoping out your page, hopefully. Block, deny. Okay, so a task is go to your page and, like scroll through your news feed and see, like, is this a Beachbody commercial? Or is this, Carly and Jody and Vicky's life and their reality show? And, am I learning something about them with almost every single post? Or am I just, do I feel like I'm going to Beachbody's website? And y'all don't do that, but y'all know what I mean. Like, you cannot get those stock photos, and that's easy. You cannot just, put a Shakeology out there. We've talked about that so many times, but go to your page, check things out, and just always keep it like what we talked about, like your passions and your likes and what you're drawn to and all those things, like that should be in your news feed. And if you go to your news feed and it's like all fitness, which I'm guilty, like I can get caught up in, because that's all I do. I mean, it's like fitness and kids. And so sometimes I'm like, okay, if I'm getting tired of seeing me work out, then I know they're getting tired of it too. And so I have to like get myself back into like doing something different and post something different. And it's not that hard because I do other things also, but that really is my passion, just working out and kids. But you have to like keep it going, keep the cycle going of all your different likes. Or like I said, if you start feeling like you're tired of posting it, then people are probably tired of seeing it too. So keep it spicy. All right. So like I was saying earlier, there's literally, I can't remember which coach it was, but she literally has like a picture and a story of her ideal customer. Like, it's not really a story and it's not really one of her challengers, but she like looked at images and what she was drawn to, and then she made up a story of something that would interest her, and the story of course related a lot to her. So don't say you don't have a story, because we all have a story, but what you want to tell is totally up to you. But I kind of feel like it's just like a little bit here, a little bit there. I mean, there's days where I'm like, no, ain't happening. And there's some things that I'm just like, okay, just go for it. But visualize that person, and it's probably someone really close to you. And whenever you're posting, like, you're talking to them. Don't imagine that you're talking to 500 people. I mean, because like we know, Facebook doesn't let 500 people see it, but just talk to that one person and think about like, what did you want to know? Like, how many times do we say, I wish I had known that. Man, that would be so helpful if I had just known that. I mean, we say that all the time. And so think about that person. Like, they might read that post and they're like, oh, so talk to your younger self. Like, don't do that. But really, like, it's true. Like, anytime you're thinking, wish I'd known that, or when you have, when you thought something was so true and then you find out like, oh, that was so silly, that's not true at all, talk about those things. And then another thing, I haven't started it yet because I'm so bad at starting a book and like starting 5 books, but I really want to read Jab Jab Hook, Jab Jab Right Hook. Yeah, because it talks or it's talking. I've heard people talk about it. I feel like I've already read it. um, but you're offering, and you're putting that value out there, and you're offering those solutions, and you just keep putting that value out there, and then you come in with that right hook. You come in with that, either that invitation, or a solution, or let's just say you're adding a little value about how good you're feeling, how you have all this energy, and then you make this awesome post about Shakeology, something like that. So you don't just go like all in, don't give all your information at once. Keep offering a little bit here, a little bit there, and then you have that big offer at the end, the big right hook, as the book calls it. But I gotta get some water. Sorry, I have some serious cotton mouth. I'm so stopped up. Pause. Okay, so don't forget that, whenever we post, I think we can forget that people are not just sitting around waiting on our posts. Maybe they are, but I seriously doubt it. We've got to keep it in the news feed, or we'd have to keep them maybe wanting more and looking for it later. So you have to keep telling your story. You have to keep offering something where people do want to come to your page, or if they don't see you in the news feed, then they come to your page, or they keep on scrolling. So just remember, we have to catch their attention. And then with Facebook or whatever you're using, of course, sharing, not selling. We hear this all the time. So this is also, it ties into your branding. It ties into finding your ideal customer. Just know that people can get this stuff anywhere. Anywhere. We have to keep reminding ourselves that. Like, they can go to Amazon. They can borrow it from a friend. There's so many different outlets. They're not. That's not why they're coming to your page. Like, they're coming to see what you have to offer, how you're going to make them smile today, laugh, just anything. Like, that's why they're coming to you. They're not coming to see like, oh, what's on sale this month on Kristen's page. Like, that should not be a thought process at all. Like, do not have any kind of selling on your page. Always make sure it is sharing and telling your story. And it's just so important that it ties into your story. So what is it doing for you? How does it fit into your life? And just, you have to make them relate to that. Don't make them, of course, you want them to know that you're a Beachbody coach, of course, but not just by saying, I'm a Beachbody coach and I sell Shakeology and I have challenge groups. Like, it has to be so much more than that. If you post a picture from BB, I just read my notes. Not funny. I got abbreviations here, from Beachbody, then you're selling. Like, think about it. They spend all the money and they have all those awesome pictures. You don't want to compete with them. We can't compete with them. There's no way. It has to be a picture of you, or a picture of you using something, or your kids, or whatever. Y'all know that it has to be just something that catches their eye. Don't use those stock photos. I also wrote down, I liked this. So share solutions, share tips, and share all the things that you wish you had known, like what I was talking about earlier. So those things, 3 things right there, like nothing to do with, it doesn't even have to have anything to do with Beachbody. Like, anything, go go to Pinterest, go to Google, and look up some tips, something that interests you. Anybody can do that, of course. You're doing it, but it's different when it comes from you. And you can make it, you can put your own little flair on it. People love reading your stuff because of your personality. It should come out in your post. And so if you see a random tip, post that. You might be, in 3 months from now, you could be known for, like, oh, I'm like the tip lady, or I'm like the gardener, or the whatever. People just will kind of put you in a little category, like whatever they need. Recipes, you ain't going to my page for recipes, but you have to put it out there. Whatever interests you, put your own little flair on it. And you don't have to just copy and paste everything. It's just, speaking of recipes, I mean, if you find 3 different recipes, that's what I do. I kind of combine them and I tweak them, and so then it's Kristen's recipe. That's what everybody else did. You have to think about it that way. So make it your own without just stealing it. Of course, we're not going to do that. And also, like I was saying earlier, everything doesn't have to be fitness related. We can get stuck into that because, I mean, Beachbody is fitness and health, but don't feel like you have to, blow up your news feed with just recipes and tips on water. And I mean, I'm guilty. That's just what I do. And so, but it's funny, whenever I post something different, I will get so much attention on it. And I'm like, really? I was so random. I didn't even put that much thought into that. But usually those are like the best posts. All right. So also, when you learn something new, share it. So if you tried a new product, or if you tried a new recipe, or you learned something in your personal development book, or you saw something on TV, whatever. If you learned something new, share it. So there's so many different things that we can be posting other than, workout challenge groups and we eat healthy. Y'all I feel like I'm in class this morning, Vicki. I mean, it was like, are y'all so tired? Y'all are just like so cool. Like,
we're just muted.
Got your poker faces on tonight. Oh, it feel like it's Monday, right? Okay, back to this. All right, so the breakdown of when you do post those hooks. I'm going to read that book so they'll know exactly what that hook is. But, when you go in for that offer, when you go in for, that invitation, whether it's to your challenge group or coaching, always make sure that first line is attention grabber. Don't just have this long paragraph and like nothing fun about it, because most people are just going to be like, oh, that's too long. So make sure something grabs their attention. And if it is long, I'm sure y'all have noticed this. If it is long, like space it out, like 2 or 3 sentences, space, some more space. Like, don't run it all together. Of course, tie your story in there. Why are you posting this? And at the end, that's when you have that call to action of the post. And then your picture, make sure it's clear. Don't post a colorful picture with colorful words on it. That's a no-brainer. But just make sure your picture is clear. There's, if you put text on it, it looks really nice and clean. And obviously it goes along with your text. And selfies, I mean, it's crazy. People love selfies. But if you think about it, We do too. I mean, every time I'm scrolling through Facebook, I'm like, oh wow, she looks really good. What's she doing? You know? So don't be ashamed of those selfies. I mean, Bo makes fun of me all the time because I will literally be like, that's not good. You gotta like master this selfie and just go for it. You know, I was talking to Sheila. She came over the other day, and you know, we were talking about how, like, because at church right now we're talking about the invisible war, and you know that devil just can get inside our heads, and you start thinking, like, for instance, my picture that I posted for my last challenge group call to action, you know, it's just a picture of me workout. I work out in my sports bra at home because it makes me work out harder. That is no lie. I'm like, oh yeah, I gotta go work harder on that one. But for real, and so that's what I'm wearing. And whenever I was about to post that, I started going, people are going to think I'm just posting this because this, and can't believe she's wearing a sports bra. Like, why would she post that? And I was like, why am I thinking that? That's not how I feel. So why are those thoughts going through my head? And it's because that fear, that devil can get inside your head, and you start analyzing it, and you start thinking all the negative things of what somebody's going to think. There's always going to be those haters, like I always say, but just think of all those people that are going to love it, that are going to be inspired. So when you post those, you know, value posts of your invitations, go for it. Post a selfie, post you flexing. It doesn't matter. Just people are going to relate to that. And plus, they're like, oh, yeah, she really is doing the program. You don't want to just talk about it. You have to show some proof every once in a while. Okay, so sorry. Y'all are all gonna post this selfie tomorrow, right? Jody, come on. I know Vicky and Carly will. The challenge is on. Oh, let me click on this. Vicky, by the way, that post you made this morning, so cute. And it blew up just talking about getting one more thing in. Did you notice that? I mean, so random, but people love that. People relate to that. Everybody tries to squeeze in one more thing. And all those people that commented on that, they are going, you know, it's just more eyes on your stuff, what you have to offer. So go into other coaches' pages, like top coaches, whoever your favorite coaches. You know, study and critique and take notes. Why is this working? What is working for them? I know we do not have much spare time, more like no spare time. But every once in a while, if I have some spare time, then that's what I do. It's like studying. I mean, you know, when you're in school, that's what you do. And we're kind of still in school. And so I go and study. And it's not, you know, it's not like copy and paste. Oh, that looks good. I'm just going to use that. You know, I'll read their posts and I'll look for words that, you know, catch my attention, or words that I relate to, or pictures that I relate to, because you're relating to them for a reason. And like I was talking about earlier, your ideal is a lot like you. And so if you're reading this post and something jumps out at you, you know, write it down, take notes, screenshot it, whatever, you know, something where it's going to help you later on, you know, to do that. I mean, it's working for a reason. You know, if you're going to a top coach, or just really anybody you love, it doesn't even have to be a top coach, but you know, see what's working for them, and see, you know, if you go there and just nothing really jumps out at you, you don't have, just because they're 15-star, you know, it's working for them, but that's like not your style. So y'all know I love Mason Bonnie Engel. Every time I go to her page, I'm like, oh, can I just be you for a day? She's so cute. I love her. I feel like she's a movie star. She kind of is in Beachbody world. So, and then go to your page and review, refine, and repeat. So, review some of your posts, review some of your pictures, and look at the engagement. And if there's, some things that need to be refined, then refine it. And then repeat. Of course, don't repeat the ones you did last week, but repeat some of the ones that were really good. Change the picture or change the post up a little bit, but if there was something that did really well and you had a lot of response to it, then obviously, that hit that sweet spot that people like to see from you. And build engagement. Like this, I feel like this could also be a team effort. I mean, sometimes I'll think like, okay, I'm going to go to everybody's page and I'm going to comment on something because it like keeps things going. And then you get not lost in the news feed and then you see 10 notifications. But, you don't have to go to everybody's. But if you see somebody's post, especially on our team, comment, even if you don't have to comment on every single one unless you want to, of course, but it helps, it helps to comment more than like. So the more comments on your post, the better. And so every single comment you get, always reply. Don't just like it. Don't just do like one big comment at the end. Comment on every single one. That is going to keep it in the news feed longer. Even if somebody just put a smiley face on there, I'm like, smiley face back. I do. I just something's got to go back. So always, you hear this a lot, ask those questions. And even in the comments, you can ask questions, but, ask questions in your posts. And make sure those questions aren't like, what do you want to be when you grow up? Obviously, y'all aren't going to ask that, but nobody has time for that. It needs to be like short and sweet, yes or no, or compare A and B. Which one do you like? If you're comparing, I wouldn't talk about politics. I don't think that would go over too well. Democrat or Republican. Yeah, don't do that. But, iPhone, Android, or, just something simple where, people love to feel needed. People love to answer questions. So, keep it lighthearted. Compare some vacations, compare some boots, but always, not always. I hear that all the time, like always ask a question. I think people will get tired of me asking questions. I think people will be like, do you really want to know that again? So, but occasionally ask some questions. And all right, so the last thing, talking about your story and crafting your story. So one way to craft your story is just think about your background, of course, and what did you like and what didn't you like, and how Beachbody came to the rescue, and your results, and not necessarily, well, I don't have a six-pack yet, or I don't earn six figures yet. That doesn't have to be the result. That can be like your prize, and you can talk about that, like keeping your eye on that prize, or it just can be something little that you've already done. But think about your background, what you like, what you didn't. Beachbody rescued you. And your results from that. So that'll kind of help you craft your story. And then another thing, like this is even hard for me. Chelsea was talking about this in one of her calls, and like we all have that thing. If I said like, what's the worst thing, what's your worst memory, everybody just like immediately, I mean, you got it. And then you think about like your best thing, your most favorite thing, something you would do for free, you just love it. And you're like, yeah, I got it. And like once you put those together, then like once you tie them in together, then the one you do for free and the one you love, then it's going to, just go crazy, blow up. But so many people are just not ready for that. You're not going to post your deepest, darkest secret. Now, some people might, but that's okay. It can be small things. It doesn't have to be like a cry fest. I don't take that when people talk about like sharing your story, share like hurts and things like that. But you have to think about how people are going to relate to you. And that is how, like, you have to get down and dirty, as they say. Like I mean, whenever I post about, like, I love to go crazy on the weekends, and that was like a vicious cycle. There's so many people that relate to that. You eat clean all during the week, and then you go crazy on the weekends. Just little things like that. I never really had like an eating disorder, but I definitely was a awful binger. So, just little things like that. Just you have to craft that story and dig deep into it. So, that's all I got for tonight. Do y'all have any questions? Comments?
Thank you for all your preparation. It was good.
Oh, you're so sweet. Thank you. I appreciate that. I like talking about this. I wish the call was longer than 30 minutes because I really could keep going on this one.
I have a question totally off of what we talked about, but you put out there Evernotes. There's like a billion types of Evernotes.
Oh, really? I didn't even know that. I just go to Evernote. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Mine's just the free one.
And then put an app on your phone.
Uh-huh.